Meeting of September 25th, 2025 is now in session. The first order of business is to approve the minutes from the September 4th meeting. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Great. Is there a second?
Second.
Great. All those in favor?
We didn't make any corrections, right?
Do you have corrections?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and how would you phrase this? There's a reference to the wife of the applicant going from the porch to the basement, and I believe that's incorrect. That line has to be either edited or struck from the minutes.
What paragraph are you in?
Right here. The porch makes it easier for him and his wife to navigate their way to the basement.
What paragraph are you on?
I think he did say that. Right, yeah, no, yes, Caitlin's right. They don't have to go to the basement with the porch, was part of the thing. Yeah, I think it's,
Right.
I just told you. Staff is fine.
We'll leave it alone? Or what?
Yeah, I think it's fine. No? Yes? We're fine? Good? Great? Okay. We'll spend more time wordsmithing. Yeah, all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Minutes are officially adopted. We will now do the public hearings for today. First, the applicant or the applicant's representative will state the reasons for the requested variance and present any material or documentation which is to be considered regarding the proposal. Next, persons wishing to speak in favor of the proposal will be given the opportunity to address the board. Then, persons who wish to speak in opposition will be allowed to address the board. Finally, the applicant or representative will be given the option to make any closing arguments or comments. Following the public hearing this afternoon, the board may make a decision on each application heard. The board may also decide to hold its decision until the next public hearing. If the public hearing is closed, no additional information will be allowed into the record except for information that the board may request. That information will be available for public review at the zoning office, 1 Park Place, 300 South State Street. Staff, are you ready to introduce the first application? Great.
We only have one agenda items on today's agenda, so it is the V-25-08. It's an area variance to seek relief to exceed the maximum height permitted of an antenna above the church building roof line. It is located at 918 Euclid Avenue. It's owned by the Irving First United Methodist Church, and the applicant and representative are Barclay Damon LLP. It's in the MX1 zone district.
Great. Thank you. Somebody here to speak for the applicant? Nervous. You run such a good public hearing, Jeff. Can you just give us your name and address, please?
Yeah, Jeff Davis. I'm an attorney with Barclay Damon. We're at 125 Jefferson. Here representing T-Mobile, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. T-Mobile currently has antennas at this location inside the stealth cross on the church. Actually, a little background, 2 years ago, I got approved replacement of that steeple or cross with new antennas in there by the planning board. As we then went to get the equipment to put the antennas in the cross, that equipment was no longer available and no longer made. So as this industry goes, this is what's known as a 3-in-1 antenna design. So normally you see antenna arrays when you drive down the thruway, you look up at a tower, you'll see that there's 3 on one side, 3 on another, and 3 on another. It's like a triangle, and there's 3 antennas on each one of those faces of the triangle. Each one of those antennas is doing a send and receive in a certain area. Inside a stealth cross, they actually take all 3 of those antennas and combine them into one antenna that then faces one. They still have 3 of them, but one of them faces one way of each one of the azimuths of the triangle. When you have a 3-in-1 antenna, it requires the antennas to be bigger. So as a result of us trying to keep this a stealth facility at the church and still allow the upgrade in technology for the new antennas, it required a redesign. And so we worked for the last 2 years with the church to come up with a redesign that works for them, but also works on a technology side. The redesign is a replacement of the stealth cross. The replacement is a taller stealth cross and a wider stealth cross, but it allows the bigger antennas to fit in there. As a result of us being taller, we now exceed the 20-foot height limit by 2.5 feet. And so the requested variance is the 2.5-foot variance above the allowed 20-foot that we could do in the code for an antenna. One of the benefits of this application is there are currently 8 other antennas on the structure. This structure has been used since 2003 to support antennas for various wireless companies. There are 8 antennas on there that are old Nextel antennas. Nextel no longer exists. It was then through a series of Sprint and then T-Mobile, it is now all covered under the T-Mobile umbrella. So as part of this application, we would be replacing the Stealth Cross and then removing those 8 Nextel antennas. Those are on the exterior. Those are visible. People can see the antennas. And so those will actually come off. They will no longer be visible. And all the antennas on the facility for T-Mobile purposes will be contained solely within that Stealth Cross.
Are we talking about the large cross on the right or the small one on top of the steeple?
We're talking about the one on the right.
Okay, thank you.
And so you can see overall, we're well below the overall structure height when you factor in the steeple height. But the cross on the right, and that is is that an existing or proposed photo there? That's existing? Yeah, so that is the proposed, so you can kind of scroll through. That's what it would look like after installation. And this is what we've been working with the church for approval on for that installation at their facility. And I can answer any questions that you may have, but that's roughly the gist of it. We need a 2.5-foot height variance. After that, this is a minor site plan, so it will be an administrative site plan approval.
Any questions from the board?
I've got 2. One being, I think you commented on it, but there's no other technology that would reduce the height that would fit within the variance?
If there was, we would have done it over the
We
last
wanted
2 years. Believe me.
And then slightly out the purview, but what is the material of the stone cross that you're capping the?
It will be a new cross. The exterior of the material has to be all RF facing material that allows the material, the frequency waves to go through it. So it's not a solid surface stone material on the exterior, but it will look. I know that you had commented that the new one is dirty, right? It is, it's been up there for a while. This will be an all-new facility and similar design. That's what you see right there. But where those antennas are, that is an RF transparent material that allows them to go through. I can't tell you the exact name of it, but if you have something right in front of the antennas that isn't RF transparent, it blocks the signal.
Yep. So is the intent that this one, obviously it's new, so it'll be clean, but is it going to be maintained more than it already has been, or?
It will be maintained. I mean, when we're there, there's not a lot you can do in terms of,
Once it's up.
once it's up, it's up, right. There's, like any structure that's 70 or 80 feet in the air, it will get dirty. But they certainly make sure that there's nothing that, no nests on it, none of that type of stuff, because all that causes interference and issues. So when they do go to the site and they maintain it, which they do about once a month, they're looking for those type of things. And if there's anything wrong with it structurally, something's broken, then that all gets repaired.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Do you have an idea of the lifetime of those antennas? How long that would be needed?
Yeah, well, the ones, actually, I did this original Stealth Cross many years ago, so it's probably been there 15 years, I think. So the antennas that were inside there were replaced twice since then. The antenna upgrades that happen quite frequently. Yeah. Every few years they're going back. The design of this one is designed understanding that there's still capacity in there for future antennas and what they're seeing.
At that time, they may replace the exterior so it would look fresh again.
I'm not sure if they would need to do that, but the goal is that they don't have to do this again. This is a very expensive process to go through. Mounting antennas on the exterior of a building and penning them to match is a lot easier than going through this process.
Other questions on the board? No? Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else who wishes to speak in favor of the application? Seeing none.
Again.
Anybody who wishes to speak against the application? It's your shot, Heather. Just kidding. All right. Hearing none, I will close the public hearing. Okay. Any discussion, questions from the board?
I have a general question. Obviously it's a 20-foot, I'm not necessarily against it, but where did, with the new rezone, that 20-foot item come from? I mean, I know you weren't part of it, but with the fact that this is probably going to happen more and more, is this something that we need to look at and, increase the height at a future point? And this is just going to be one of many, or?
So we will discuss later about this one, but right now it's just about this application. They are requesting the higher. So normally we will see the antenna will be less than 20 feet, but this one is special, and we will discuss later about the code.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, if there's no further discussion, does somebody want to make a motion and take us through the area variance? Well, we have to do seeker. Damn it. All right.
I do have one question, but I don't know that it's really our purview. Not only is it a little bit taller, but it's significantly larger in mass than the existing one.
I was just asking.
We don't have any purview over that.
No.
Okay.
Well, to the extent that you're allowing it to be taller, you have purview over the size, because you could not grant the variance if you believe that with the height and added bulk, it's not compatible with the neighborhood.
I mean, it's not that, I don't know, whatever, it's big.
Talk about a balancing test. All right, seeker, what are we doing? Where's our seeker note? What are we doing? Sorry.
Has everyone had a chance to review the EAF Part 1 that's contained in your packet, prepared by the applicant?
Yep.
Has everyone had a chance to review the EAF Part 2, also contained in your packet and prepared by staff on your behalf?
Yes.
Does anyone believe the proposed action will result in a medium, moderate to large impact under seeker?
No.
No. No? Okay, having determined that there will be no moderate to large impacts, I recommend that you make a negative declaration and complete the EAF Part 3 accordingly.
Someone make a motion on the negative declaration.
Motion on negative declaration?
And a second?
Second.
You
Discussion.
move to declare a
Move to
negative
declare negative.
declaration under seeker.
We're moving to declare a negative declaration under seeker.
Moving to determine a negative declaration under.
You're gonna have to give me a script, gosh.
No, sorry.
First, second, okay. All those in favor of a negative declaration under seeker? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, seeker carries. Next up, is there a motion on the area variance before us today, V 2508?
Motion to approve the variance?
I'll second.
Liam, will you take us through the balancing test?
Yep, I think as far as neighborhood character goes, I think the fact that the church is working with these folks, I think, they feel strongly that the change is not so significant that it would affect the character. As far as the height goes, it's minimal. As far as feasibility of alternatives, if there were any, the project would have happened sooner. There was a delay due to the lack of it. I think this is insubstantial, not substantial, with 2.5 feet. And there are no real adverse effects as far as I can tell. And as far as it being self-created, I think, it is, but that is not a deal breaker. And also the equipment challenges make it mitigate that anyways.
Otis, anything else?
Yeah, the only thing that I would add is that as long as they follow the recommendations made, I think it's a home run. I live in that neighborhood, drive by the church all the time, and the property is very well kept. And the increase in size is going to be so minimal that I don't know who would recognize it. I mean, you literally would have to get up there with a measuring tape. So with those things being stated in the recommendations of the committee here, I concur and think that it's a great project.
So in addition to the balancing test, the motion includes a general condition approval, the conditions for, general conditions for approval. I didn't sleep a lot last night. For the area variance, and then staff is recommending that that the applicant obtain all required permits prior to the site plan approval, and that they ensure that the antenna and supporting structure are maintained in good condition. With that all said, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
One opposal.
Oh, you're opposing. Okay. I thought you said aye first. I misheard you. All right, one opposed. All right, motion carries. Great. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, any other business? There is none. Okay, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.